Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for the recent views on some of my latest videos. I really appreciate it. A lot of you guys, I received a lot of positive comments. So, I love responding to each one of you guys. So please do feel free to chat or ask a question if you guys do have any. So in today's video, I thought I'd go over some of my just my collection update. Partially, I'm also doing this video for myself as it would be nice to see where I am currently in the hobby, and then maybe reflect upon this video a few years down the line to see how much my collection has grown. This video, I think, covers a diverse range of cards. So we're going to have WotC cards, we're going to have EX, Level X, Japanese cards, some entry-level trophy cards. So, I think no matter what sort of collection taste you have, you'll probably find some kind of interesting cards in this video. Well, these two are actually some of my recent pickups. This one was from a card show, that was from a PWCC auction. So usually these sort of cards will be stored. Some of these cards in this video, the more pricier ones, are usually stored at my PWCC vault. So it won't be in my current location, but generally I do not like to have too much cards at one place. But I thought, I would want to make a video like this someday, especially as like a collection update. So I thought I'd make a quick video on tracking, what currently I have, as well as both graded and raw cards. So, if you guys haven't checked out this channel before, I mainly love collecting PSA 9s. I think they're a great collector grade, great bang for your buck. You got a nice quality mint card, but it's not too expensive compared to the PSA 10 counterpart. So a brief sort of collection goal for myself. I do especially like to collect the EX and Level X era, sort of that's where I grew up in. However, I still have a appreciation for the WotC era cards. And so you'll see quite a few of those as well. And this is essentially, I'll probably talk a little bit about these cards. So this is a beautiful Gold Star I picked up in a recent auction. So super stoked about that. One of my first Gold Star cards. So definitely true chase of rarity. These were only 1 in 72 packs. So extremely rare to pull, find. It's a 9. I think it's a pretty solid grade. They're quite pricey, so I am trying to take it a little bit slower. And this was from a recent card show purchase as well. Shout out to the vendor. He actually commented in one of my videos. I love picking up some of these rainbow rares just because they're sort of, I feel like they're not as appreciated right now. They're quite cheap. They're literally a few dollars above the grading cost, especially after you factor in shipping and insurance. The price is almost the price of grading, in my honest opinion. So, since my ultimate goal is to collect all the chase cards from each set in a graded 9 or above, I am sort of just picking these up slowly, especially if they're going for roughly $20 in a 9. That just feels like a sort of low risk play for myself. In this video that you see, we're going to have some modern. We're also going to show some Japanese promos later on as well, if you guys are into that. So they're not in a super organized manner, but I thought maybe some of you guys have been asking, and it might be interesting if you guys did want to sort of see what I've been collecting, the type of cards that I'm really into, and at the end of the day, I'm just kind of appreciating the arts for myself. The prime cards I think are quite cheap right now. A lot of them are, I think this was $40-$50 if I'm not mistaken. So I think these were quite rare. Each booster pack is around $80 or $100, at least $100 I think. So I think Getting them already graded in a 9, for like $40 is quite a good deal, in my opinion. Just because these were sort of the chase cards back in the Heart Gold Soul Silver era. These rainbow rares, they were only 1 or 2 a box, and some of these booster boxes like Team Up or Unbroken Bonds are going for hundreds of dollars, if not the $1,000 marks, such as Team Up. And Level X holds a really special place in my heart, just because that's sort of one of my fondest memories of pulling those cards, going to the store with my parents, getting them as a kid. So now I'm sort of, I guess, have a bit more money now. I do like to collect these again, and it's almost like a sort of, yeah, it's very nostalgic feel for me, these cards. So I definitely have a good time doing so, and I try to pick up a lot of these in auctions. So this was with Z&G, I think, Emporium auctions. And so, some of these are sub $100, like this one, for example. Again, Level X cards. I think the earlier print runs, such as Diamond and Pearl and Stormfront, before it got to the Platinum era, there was only 1 or 2 Level X cards per booster box. So, what that meant was that, these were hard to pull from an era that wasn't super printed. It was printed to demand, but there was not that much demand during the middle era. So I think a lot of the sets were short printed. The condition was also very difficult to obtain in a high grade. If you look at some of these pop reports, especially for the Level X and some of the EX cards, I think due to the silver borders, they're extremely hard to grade and get in a 10. So the population of the 10s remain quite low. I believe some Level X cards isn't even, they don't even have a single 10 example. So I think the 9s are definitely a good pickup, just because, the 9s are so much cheaper. Like some of this, like let's say this card, like in a 9 is, maybe like 100-ish, $150. But then if you want a 10, you're going to be paying thousands of dollars. So, I'm not going to pay 10 times the price for a maybe cleaner copy. Again, I've expressed this in some of my videos. I think that the PSA grading is somewhat subjective. It's like a grader, right, that grades your cards. So how can it not be subjective? It's not using AI or any kind of, computer to do it. So there will be a degree of subjectivity. So I think a lot of the 10s, especially in the middle era and some of the WotC era, I think it's very hard to reproduce. What I mean by that is if you get a 10 in a Level X card, it's probably thousands of dollars. But then I hate how if you recracked it and you grade it, in my opinion, I think it might, have a good chance of getting a 9 again. And if you get a 9, you lose like 90+% of your card's value, which I think is... it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't want to be betting on PSA as a brand. I want to be buying the card for the card, not buying a PSA label. I'm not like trying to invest in PSA and think that they're going to remain to be the best grading company for years to come. Although they probably will be, I'd much rather just buy the card. Let's say in case another grading company pops up, I'd much rather be able to, if I want to transition my collection to another grading company, I know I have some solid mint copies of my favorite cards. So this card is quite special. I do remember getting a tin with this promo as a kid, and these promos were extremely hard to sort of grade, in my opinion, just because a lot of them were damaged. If you see the mint copies or mint raw copies on eBay, a lot of them have like edge wear. I think it was the way that they were sort of fixed into the tins back in the 2007. A lot of times it damaged the corners, so preventing a grade that's like above a 8 or 7. And yeah, this is another beautiful card. So now we're in sort of the EX era, and this card, I fondly remember this back in elementary. I had a very beat up version of this, but I love this holo. It was just super nostalgic to me. This card in particular, I remember I would take it everywhere, to the playgrounds, to class. So I'm really glad to get like a mint copy back in my collection. I also do have this on display on my table, as well as, yeah, the Rayquaza Delta species. Beautiful card. A lightning Rayquaza. How cool is that? Yeah, honestly, just I feel like, part of me doing this video is also giving me a chance to get these cards back from the vault and take a look at them again. Just appreciate, the art in person, holding it in my hands. This one, I do remember having this card as a kid too. The reason I love this card, it was because it had 200 HP. At that time, this was the highest health Pokemon ever released in that like 2005, 2006 era. So I thought, this was insane. So much health. I always thought this, the higher the health, the better the card. That's how I collected as a kid. But, this deep blue holo, it's absolutely gorgeous. I remember trading a Charizard EX from Fire Red Leaf Green for that. So I don't think it was a great trade, but that card only had 160 HP and that Wailord had 200. So, I thought I had a good steal. Yeah, another beautiful card from my elementary days, a Groudon EX. So yeah, this I also had in my collection at one point. Thought it was just, Groudon's such a cool Pokemon in my opinion. So glad to have that in my collection. And yeah, I guess I still have some level X cards here. Honchkrow level X. Not too much memory on this one, but this one I do remember having it in my collection at one point as a kid. Rhyperior, awesome looking Pokemon. I don't think it's a fan favorite, but for me, definitely a cool pickup. And this one, Dialga. I was always a fan of Dialga, especially when it came out. Dialga Palkia, they're some of my favorite legendaries. This one I got from Catch 'em All Collectibles for a great deal. Thanks for hooking me up on this one. Really appreciate it. But this is a nice, again, tin promo, I believe. Which is also, I feel like the tin promos are a little underappreciated just because I felt like a lot of them were damaged because of the way it's held in the tins. Maybe they're undervalued, but yeah, this card I actually graded myself. My partner pulled this, not on camera. I wasn't making YouTube videos back then, but this was sort of one of our first re-entries into the hobby, and I didn't even know if this was the chase card, but I saw a shiny Charizard. I was screaming. So this definitely a great memory of my partner. We pulled it together at her kitchen table. And I graded this myself and it came back a 10. So this will stay with me in my personal collection for a long time. Beautiful modern card. And this was another pickup that I did recently. Honestly, this was a little bit of an impulsive buy, but look at the art on this card. Like, I think the Aquapolis set just has some of the best artworks in the hobby. Just search up Aquapolis Holo. All of the artworks are so nicely drawn. They almost look like our modern day alt arts, but just, in WotC era. And another thing about Aquapolis is that they're sort of quite hard to find. A sealed product for Aquapolis is so expensive. This is sort of the late WotC era before WotC was taken over by Nintendo. So what that meant was a lot of the print runs were really short, especially with Skyridge, which was the last set, I believe. So, the Aquapolis, especially the E series, so it has like these barcodes where you can scan into your game and then, play your console with it. So you get the actual Pokemon. That's why you see these strips of barcode if you're curious. But yeah, essentially, base first ed, shadowless, base set, shadow, You know, it was sort of, you know, it was rare at first. It was like a bell curve, right? So there was a low print in first edition base, and then base set was like, you know, very high, and then it sort of like increased throughout Jungle, Fossil, and then Team Rocket, and I feel like afterwards it started going down in the late WotC era, which is sort of around this time. I felt like a lot of the interest started diminishing and the print runs were shortened. Yeah, maybe I'll jump to some modern cards in case you guys are more modern collectors. This was another cool Evolutions Charizard that I pulled. I don't think this was pulled on stream, but one day I just decided, hey, let's just buy a bunch of evolutions. And this was sort of during the hype mania of Pokemon. So I did pay a good amount of money, I think, for those packs. But hey, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I just wanted to rip it. Thankfully, I did pull a Charizard. So I think I didn't, you know, lose out too much on it. But of course, these cards are extremely hard to grade, the evolution set. So I actually pulled both the holo and the reverse holo variants. But you know, they both got a 9, which is completely fine for me. Oh, hey, look, they're actually sequential too. I forgot about that. But I'm happy to have the 9s in my collection because, you know, there's no way I'm gonna pay a 10 premium. Oh, this is a nice Darkrai PSA 9. You know, this was like 20-30 bucks maybe. So not too expensive, but a beautiful full art in my opinion. I do love well, you know, if I had to rank, so now there's 3 different EX sets, right? So that was like the first gen EX, which is still my favorite. And I would say this one is my second favorite, the XY EX cards. Like, look at this art. I think this is definitely way better than a lot of the EX cards we're getting now, and especially in the Scarlet Violet sets. Wow. Manaphy, Greninja, and Gyarados. Some of the coolest Pokemons. And you got a gold border around it. So this is the Gyarados Secret Rare and a PSA 9. Honestly, such a nice artwork. You know, again, this looks like almost like our modern day alt arts, right? And I believe I picked that up for less than 80, I want to say, on a auction. So really happy about that. And, you know, a lot of you guys might know, this was the 2021 McDonald's promos. So these came with your Happy Meals. So, you know me, you know, I love McDonald's. I love Pokemon. So, you know, what do? You drag your girlfriend to McDonald's and you guys just get some Happy Meals for lunch or something. So, you know, after quite a few Happy Meals over the month of the promo, we finally pulled this card. This was extremely hard to pull. I only pulled one Pikachu holo and a bunch of other holos that wasn't Pikachu. So I'm glad I pulled one of these and I graded it myself and it did come back to 10. So another nice sentimental piece that I got with my partner that I'll keep in my collection. So here is a prime, or not prime card, legend card from the Heart Gold Soul Silver era. I actually pulled this card myself. So I bought some packs off Royalty Gaming Pokemon. He does do some live streams, and I bought some sealed ones to open myself. And I was lucky enough to pull this legend card. So if you guys don't know legend cards, this is a sort of half a card. And you'll have another half on the top. So it says Raikou and Suicune. So there's a Raikou top portion essentially that completes the art. So you got to just put these 2 cards together. I'll show you guys a little picture here. And then you can sort of piece together a image. So these weren't super popular, but honestly though, I think it is a really cool concept that we haven't seen in a while. You know, beautiful color palette. You know, a unique card, I would have to say. And oh yeah, here's just another cheap prime card that I probably picked up. I think this was like $30 or something. You know, not super popular, but again, it comes from an era that wasn't super heavily printed. The packs are $100, booster boxes are thousands of dollars. And if I'm just paying like $30, $40 for a prime already graded mint card, I think it's a pretty good deal. So as you guys can see, my collection has been quite, I guess, diverse over the years. I do tell people that I try to stick in within a niche. Right now, it is sort of within that EX level X era, trying to recollect some of the cards I had as a kid. However, since my goal ultimately is to collect all the chase cards from each English set in a PSA 9 or above, I have been slowly picking up some of the the cheaper hollows, especially if I see them go for a good deal on auction or a buy now price. And when it is sort of quite a bit under market, I will just pick it up, especially if it doesn't hurt the bank too much. So here is some Japanese promos. So a lot of this I have to put away in a vault, just because it's too expensive to. Well, this one isn't that bad, but some of them do get a little bit pricey, and I don't feel too comfortable holding it, just on my table. So I do send it off to PWCC or another vault place that has a better sort of security. So here is a victory medal. So this is a third place, second place, and a first place. So I actually bought this one from Twice Baked Jake. We actually made a deal on this one. So that's a pretty cool story. But so this was actually his card that he graded. But I think, yeah, this one I graded myself, and this one I bought a few years ago. So the reason I loved these cards was that, you had to win a tournament, obviously first, second, and third place to obtain these cards. They're sort of like a very entry level trophy prize card, which I do think makes them quite a bit more rare than the cards that you can pull from packs. So these ones do hold some value. I think they're around 1.2k, I want to say, for all three. So, and honestly, they look great, especially I think the second place one. These are must-haves, I think, if you're a Pikachu collector. Definitely a cool set to have. Especially, I'm lucky to get all PSA 10s for those. So I've also graded a lot of victory medals. So these were the predecessors to those 2009 ones. So these are the 2007 victory medals. So there is a 2006 variant of this one, of this art, but the 2005 one I believe is more rare. So I have the 2005 and the 2007 gold place, first place. So this again was pretty exclusive, given out only for a duration during the gym challenge tournaments at local game shops. So you did have to do decently well in a tournament to obtain this, and similarly this Typhlosion victory medal. So I'm a huge fan of victory medals. I do think they're really good entry level prize cards. They have some great arts, and especially when they have this, like, for the winner of the Pokemon card game, it does feel like a trophy card, even though they don't cost as nearly as much as some of the sort of if you compare it to the Mew Orb or the Pika trophies or the sort of Master Scroll, just to name a few. There's quite a few. So let's see. This one I actually bought from Catch 'em All Collectibles, if you guys know him on YouTube. Great guy. This is actually considered, I guess, a trophy card. Of course, a pretty lower tier trophy card, but nonetheless, it's still sort of my, I guess, first legit trophy card. I love this art because it has Palkia, but I do think that the Mysterious Pearl was sort of printed more than the other Winter Challenge cards. So I think there was also a Dialga version. That one's quite a bit more rare, and an Arceus version, which is also more rare. So I think the Palkia is definitely a more entry level one. But I still think this is a beautiful card. Again, given to the winner of the tournament. Yeah, I'll probably keep this in my collection for a long time. So yeah, super happy about this card. One of my rarest cards in my collection. And lastly, this is a, don't be fooled that, it's a non-holo. It looks pretty boring, but this is a University Magikarp. It's one of my Grail cards, one of my favorite cards that I own. Very glad to have this one. So this is a 2-day tournament back in Japan in '98, where participants were invited to go to I forgot the university. I should do my research on this, but they had to go there, compete, and only the winners of day 1 get to move on to day 2, where they competed further, and ultimately the winners were awarded this. The intended release for this card was 1,000 copies. However, if you look at the population report for PSA, there's a lot less than 1,000 copies. So a lot of people think that it might be because it never, 1,000 copies were never released in the world, but some others think maybe, it just hasn't been graded yet. So this is one of the rarest Pokemon cards, just in general, I would say. Definitely it's considered a trophy card. Despite the PSA 2 graded, grade, I think it's a beautiful card. I'm super happy to have in my collection, regardless of the grade. So, it looks pretty clean, right? But you do see there's that indent here. PSA is pretty hard of indent, so maybe down the line, if I really wanted to, I could submit it to BGS and maybe get a bit higher of a grade, like a 4 maybe, just because I think the surface and the corners are decent, and there isn't really that much whitening. It's literally just mainly the indent, a little bit of a fold there. But a beautiful card, has a rich history. Especially in '98 when Pokemon just started, so there wasn't even that many people competing out there for these cards. So definitely a grail to me. Super happy about that. So those were my Pokemon graded cards. If you guys want to keep watching, I'll show you guys some of the cool raw copies of cards that I have. I'll just kind of go through them. So yeah, these are from just recent pickups from card shops. We got some rainbow rares. So again, I love these rainbow rares. They all look kind of the same, but I think that's why people don't like them. But I like the rarity of it. How, there's only 1 to 2 per box during the Sun and Moon era. A lot of them are now quite expensive, the boxes. So I think picking up just the single chase cards is something I've been doing just slowly over time. Again, I've been picking up some of the lower end Hidden Fates shinies. Some of these were like $3, $5. You buy a Hidden Fates ETB, it's like $200. So $3 to $5 for the chase card in your ETB. There are times when I opened a Hidden Fates ETB, 3 times actually. Every time I opened it, I got 1 shiny card. So 1 full art shiny. So I remember my luck hasn't been the best. I think the first time I opened it, it was really good. I told the story earlier. Opened it with my partner. We got that Charizard GX and we graded it and it got a 10. Great. But I think the next 2 times I opened it, I got very obscure Pokemon like Stakataka. Something that wasn't nearly as much value. But hey, that's why I learned my lesson. That was earlier in my collecting days, so now I just buy these singles for a few bucks, and I'm able to save a lot in the long term, especially if my ultimate goal was to just buy them eventually anyway. So I might as well just start picking up the raw copies for like literally a price of a coffee. And so these are some cool cards. This one I was lucky enough to get the restock off the Pokemon Center, so I didn't have to pay scalper prices. I got 1 copy, and it looks pretty clean. I do want to grade this eventually, but I'm not in a super big rush to. So this was, these 2 Charizards were actually given to me as a gift by my partner. Super nice of her. Beautiful art on these cards. This was from Pokemon 151. This was from Obsidian Flames. Some of the coolest modern day Charizard arts, I would have to say. I'm glad to have that in my collection. We'll be grading those eventually. And yeah, lucky enough, I pulled this when I ordered something to get my gray felt hat Pikachu. So I just picked a random Crown Zenith product. I got the free promo, which paid for the order itself already multiple times. But I also pulled a Mewtwo V Star. You know, had super good luck that day. But very cool art. Although I'm a huge fanboy of the Level X EX era, but I can't help to also appreciate just how sort of this is like a action clip out of the anime Mewtwo fighting Charizard. Yeah, name a more iconic fight than that. And yeah, this was again a pack I pulled this Charizard from. It was given by my partner again, so great looking card. I am a huge fan of Charizard, if you guys can't see by my YouTube icon. And this one was a nice pickup from my local game shop for around $15. So hopefully this grade's a 9, but again, similar to the EX Level X era, these silver borders, I think, get scratched quite easily. So I am a little skeptical when sending these in for grading, just because I feel like it's not too worth if I don't get at least a 9 when I grade these. But yeah, we'll have to see. But oh yeah, really cool arts. And then we got some rainbow rares, some more rainbow rares here. Some more cards here. So this is again from Pokemon 151, the War Turtle. More of these Burning Shadows. Yeah, very hard set to get the Charizard from, but I feel like this set only the Charizard is worth anything. These other rainbow rares, which I think is equally as hard to pull, as well as to grade, they're severely, I think, undervalued. This is like what, $15. Of course, a nice Hidden Fates promo. I picked the best sort of centered and clean copy. Hopefully I'll get the 10. This beautiful artwork. Yeah, beautiful design. It's like the church window silhouette. And then, of course, we got the Charmander, the Charmeleon. And then, if you remember, I had the Charizard, which completes the full picture, which is all, really nice. So happy to have that. A Charizard V-Star from the Ultra Premium collection. So I opened a few of those. Those ones seem to have, or at least the ones I opened, they were kind of hard to grade. It seems like a lot of them were slightly damaged. So I think it might have a hard trouble getting a 10 grade. Or even a 9 grade, to be honest, because I think some of them had quite heavy bends or edge wear. So I only were able to pick out a few that were good, but yeah, more rainbow rares. This was a gift from my mom when I pulled, so I opened my packs and I got this Giratina V-Star. Cool card. Another gift from my partner. She bought me the V-Star Premium collection. And this was one of the promo cards in there, and along with this one. So these will be with me. And we got some more rainbows here. And the Pikachu Zekrom from the GameStop exclusive boxes. So these were really cool because they had Evolving Skies in them as well. I was able to find some on shelf, and this copy looked decently clean, so hopefully I will grade this and it comes back a 9 or a 10 at least. And then lastly, we have this Mew EX, also from that Ultra Premium collection. And moving on, we got more of these Obsidian Flame, this sort of like crystal looking kind of Pokemon. And then we got some Shining Fates promo. Ditto, so I actually pulled this one myself, although it's not really worth that much. It's just a non-holo, but that was pretty cool. Also pulled this myself from a Heart Gold Soul Silver pack, a Miss Magius reverse, and then this is again these sort of crystal-like type Pokemon, and then Galarian Moltres, tin promo. I pulled this one myself as well from a pack, a dud pack. Didn't have a holo, but you know, got a rose raid out of it. Some celebrations. So yeah, nothing too interesting there, at least I think. And then we're on our last sort of stack of cards here, but these are just sort of, you know, oh, these are some cool. So this is like the OG Gold Star, or sorry, the OG Gold cards. This was, you know, now our gold cards are all flashy, but this was sort of what they had back in the XY era. They're very subtle. You know, I think they're pretty cool, but very cheap. You know, $5, $10. And then the rest of these cards that I have is just, you know, cards from packs that I got from my parents, my partner, friends. So, you know, they're on my PC just because they are sort of, you know, pretty sentimental, just given as gifts to myself, and I pulled it. So I'm happy to just hold those on in my PC for years to come. So yeah, there you guys have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's so many cards that I've showed you guys today. So this is after 3 years now. So this marks my 3-year collection journey. And I'm very excited to have shown you guys these cards. So a huge variety of cards. So, you know, ranging from cards that are worth, you know, 50 cents that I showed you guys today to cards that are worth, you know, maybe over $5,000. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys are interested in Pokemon products, Pokemon sleeves, you know, top loaders, whatever, do check out my affiliate links in the description below. Those are websites that I trust and use myself. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, please leave it in the comments below, and feel free to subscribe if you would like, and leave a like on this video. Cheers, guys. Peace.